Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And we got a show about sipping on some bourbon and or cocktails.
Sure do.
We are going to talk about some belts, and then we're going to talk about them Blockbusters.
Darn tootin'.
We got a pack full episode right before Money in the Bank today, so let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
This was my cocktail of the week, and I decided to make a Heroes Mint Old Fashioned. So I love the Old Fashioned and was looking for a twist on it and saw this one on the intranet. So what it consists of is our Pendleton straight bourbon, aged 10 years. We got some simple syrup, some pressed mint leaves to release the aroma, the oils.
Yes.
And then 3 dashes of Angostura bitters. And then a little mint sprig to go on top.
Little garnish.
And then you just stir that together, chill it down, and you got a refreshing cocktail for a hot summer day.
Heck yes.
Let's get to it. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I think it's really good. This bourbon specifically, because of how smooth it was, it just kind of heightens the flavors that we put into there. You get the bitters, the simple syrup, and mint really cuts through.
Yeah,
but not overpowering, because I'm not a huge mint fan, and it's just the right amount.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's very similar, obviously, to the mint julep. Cocktail, right? And it's just, I mean, the mint julep still is one of my favorites that we've done on this show, so this is right up there with it. You get all the flavors of it. It's like everything blends really well together. I love it. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 because I think it is a step below the mint julep for me. Yeah, and the mint julep was a.
I'm gonna go with you on a 9.5 as well on it. Yeah. It's refreshing. It feels good on a summer day.
Yes, it do. And it is a hot one out there today.
Yeah, and it's but I love an old fashioned, and you get that flavor from this.
Absolutely.
So,
love it. Nice choice, Tim. We got our socials. We are at Trip B Pod on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok. We are the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts and Blockbusters on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. And we have our Gmail. It is triplebpod619@gmail.com. Go ahead and hit us up there if you have any sort of inquiries. You got suggestions of anything you want us to watch, moves you want us to do, questions you want us to discuss on the show, anything like that. Go ahead and hit us up there.
That brings us over to our Bourbon Talk section of the week, and it is my fact check. And so I got some fact checks for you. How many matches at Money in the Bank? We said 4 last week, and I didn't see any added matches. There's 4 on the episode. When was the last submission match? We were talking about submission match with Becky Lynch and Lyra. Yeah. The last one was in 2021, and it was in NXT UK. And before that, it was on Raw in 2020. And then the last year was a prominent stipulation was in 2019 when they had 5 matches that year. So really
a 5 submission matches in 2019. Wow.
So really fizzled out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Money in the Bank, has it been cashed in on a lesser title? It has, and it was one time. I was right. It was Austin Theory, and it was for the U.S. Championship, and that title was held by Seth Rollins at the time. He was unsuccessful in cashing in, so not only did he cash in on a lesser title, but he was unsuccessful at getting the title.
All right.
When did Naomi's music change? It changed at WrestleMania Night 1, April 19th.
Oh, okay.
What were we were talking about the tag team elimination chamber matches, and there's actually been 3. The first one was men's in 2015. Then there was the women's to present the new women's tag team titles. That was to win them for the inaugural time, and that was in 2019. And then the last one was in 2020. There was a men's tag chamber. All three, if I remember correctly, were bangers. So,
all right.
Has any groups held all the gold we were talking about, like Evolution and why it's 6? The closest I could find, and this was very loose research, but Corporation held the WWE, IC, European, Tag, and Hardcore all at once.
Okay.
But then there was like the McMahon-Helmsley connection, and they, like, Stephanie had the women's title, but I don't think they had one of the other titles. So
gotcha.
The closest thing would be like just the whole group holding it, and like Evolution did that, and there was a handful of others, but no one's held like the full on roster of titles that I could find.
Something potentially new.
Yep, true. Who was the third woman in the qualifying match on Monday Night Raw? It was Ivy Nile. We said
right.
Liv, and we said Stephanie Vecchia, but couldn't think of who the third was. Who's the fourth? Oh, so I said, I was talking about the Fatal 4-Way coming up at the Worlds Collide match, and I couldn't think of who the fourth person was. I said maybe Luchacero, but it's Laredo Kid.
Okay.
Who was the second Money in the Bank winner? It kind of glazed over. I was like, we had Edge, blank, Mr. Kennedy. It was Rob Van Dam that was the second Money in the Bank winner. You said if I looked up a picture of Pete Holmes, I would recognize him, and I do. Yeah. 100% recognize him. And then what was more recent, Modern Family or Parks and Rec? You were right. Modern Family was more recent, and it did end in 2020. It was 11 seasons. But there's also been some more mockumentary shows since then. We said maybe that was the most current, but there's St. Denis Medical, there's Abbott Elementary, What We Do in the Shadows were just some of the examples I found.
I haven't watched any of those.
St. Denis Medical looked funny. I just haven't had the time to watch it. I've heard really good things about Abbott Elementary, and I don't think I've ever heard of What We Do in the Shadows. I think it's on Peacock.
Okay.
The Cock Stream.
Cock Stream.
And that's what I got for the fact check.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Bad. All right.
That brings us over to our wellness journey check-in number 21. Ryan, lead me through your successes, challenges, and your weigh-in.
Yeah, man. My body's just kind of been hurting the last couple of weeks, so I've still been doing my workouts. I've also been getting like 16 to 20,000 steps in like almost every day. I think there's only like 2 days out of the last 10 or something that I didn't get because my goal that I have on my watch is 15,000. There's only like 2 out of the last 10 or 12 days that I didn't hit that, and so just been up and moving a lot on my feet, and so I have aches and pains and tightness and soreness and all sorts of stuff. So with that, still been getting my workouts in though for the I have for the just not necessarily as consistently as I would like to do certain things, but and then it's that point in the year where weather's getting hot. It's getting well. Now I got my ACs in, so hopefully that'll make it a little bit better. But the last like 2 weeks was just like there were certain days where it was like we're not fucking cooking inside because our house is gonna bake, and it's just way too hot. And so we ended up grilling outside or doing something. And not that grilling is necessarily bad, but just certain food choices and stuff could be better. But all in all, weigh-in, there was no change. I'm still 211.4. So didn't go up, didn't go down, nothing. I'm still sitting right there on the cusp of our goal, and it gives me something to shoot for still in the future.
You're just hanging out for me.
Yes,
for me to catch up.
I took the
You're just taking the plateau.
Yeah. Took a little pit stop. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. What about you?
Not a lot of challenges other than I'm like you, I'm dealing with some aches and pains throughout the week. But I'm pushing through. I'm getting some very solid workouts in, very consistent, back-to-back 5 workout weeks, 5 workouts per week, and a lot of running, and just I'm feeling really good. Been hearing about my appearance and how much it's looking better, which is just giving me a little boost in motivation, and just it feels good. It feels really good. So not a lot of challenges. Been still doing the calorie counting, and that's been working well. You're right. As you continue to use it, it gets a little bit easier just because it's locking in things that you do
you've already had
on a regular. So definitely. So I've been playing with that, and it's just holding me accountable. I'm not always under the calories, but I'm keeping an eye on what I'm doing and everything. And so that's been good. And so for my weight loss, I am 224 flat.
There you go.
So 4.2 pounds down from previous weigh-in.
Oh yeah, man.
Total of 38.9 pounds down. So rounding almost to the 40 pounds down total.
That's dope.
Feeling good.
That's awesome, man.
Feeling good.
Cheers to that.
Thank you. That brings us to
belts.
Ryan. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. I'm rocking Raw this week. It's gonna start it off with what we started off the night with, and that was the fact that the Punk and Sammy segment was fucking great.
Yeah,
I thought it was awesome. I thought they both just killed it on the mic. The back and forth, the emotion, and the feel of just like the do or die type of thing that they were kind of putting on there for that match later in the night, the qualifier. Sammy, just the emotion that he brings is unmatched. Like
it's
it
so
really
good.
is. It's insane. And yeah, I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was awesome. It was such a good way to start the show off because it really put like stakes on the show and what was going on that night. So I thought it was great. I loved it.
I couldn't agree, and it just it just paints that picture. And I'm still thinking that Sammy is the end goal in all of this at WrestleMania. Yeah. Like the way they're painting the picture, like I can't get it right now, but you gotta go for it. And I got your back fully on this. And it was well done. It was just CM Punk is so good on the mic, and he just delivers every single time.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And so I couldn't agree more.
Next point I have here is, and I feel like you're gonna have an opposite opinion of this than I do, but I wrote Karrion Kross as a fucking snoozer, and that he should have been gone when they got rid of AOP. He has done nothing at all since AOP left, and he was doing nothing with AOP. They're not pushing him in any way. They just keep having him in these weird random moments in the back. Yes, I will say that maybe this has helped push the narrative of a potential Sammy heel turn or push Sammy more towards the greater good. Mm-hmm. Maybe, but they also, like, I don't feel like it has done enough with it to be like, oh yeah, this was needed. I just feel like it's just like, oh my God, here he is again. And I'm just kind of over it. I would like them to do something good with him, but it's been a couple years now and they have done nothing with him. So just to see like them not renew R-Truth's contract, which is like, he has done far more for television and just the shows than Karrion Kross has in his entire career. So, I'm over Karrion Kross, and I was just like, fuck me, what the fuck? So,
I mean, I disagree.
I know, you would.
But I mean, we act like Karrion Kross has a say on what he can do. Like, he's done a lot on the just social media wise to promote himself, and if you watch that, you kind of feel for the guy, and I'm digging what he does on that, but he only gets a brief second or in the background on the show. So he's not getting, I agree. I don't think these segments are doing much unless there's a long story here, which would fit Paul's.
And I don't think I should clarify, I don't think it's his fault.
No,
at all. I think it is 100% creative, and it's just like a random.
I mean,
thing.
It's just like New Day. I don't care at all for them. They're a great tag team, but now I could care less. They're both great
wrestlers, and
I could care less about War Raiders.
It's the character work and the creative behind it all that is the snoozer, not him personally as a human being.
Yeah,
and I don't say he should have been gone with AOP. That's also rough because I'm also like I'm not rooting for anyone to lose their job, but it's like there's a part though where it's like, what is he doing, or what is he doing, or has he been doing that they weren't doing? Yeah, most of the excitement around that group, anyways, was AOP. Mm-hmm. You know, like the shit that they would do because he barely ever did anything. So it was, you know what I mean? Like that was where I was coming up from that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I wrote here, Stephanie Vaquer is a boss. She's so fucking awesome. That match was great. I was so stoked that she won that and put herself in the Money in the Bank match. Then we also got that little bit of a potential foreshadowing between her and Rhea Ripley backstage where it was just like a show of respect, but it was also, you were like, oh, you can read between the lines. That's a future fucking blockbuster of a match. That's right there. That's a Mania match. Yeah, that's going to be fucking awesome. So I just wanted to give her flowers there, like welcome to the main roster officially, and fuck yeah, you deserve it, and it's been awesome.
I love that. Yeah, like I'm a huge fan of hers. I love that we got 3 newbies in the women's Money in the Bank, and then 3 like veterans, like long-term veterans. So it will be a very interesting one, but very exciting future for the women's division, especially with Stephanie. She is so over with the fans already. Booker T helped a lot with this. Anyways, agreed.
And then finally, my last talking point for Raw was El Grande. Really? Like, the 3 people in that match, El Grande Americano's the one that you have fucking take the win to get into the Money in the Bank match. That was, and hear me out, I love the character of El Grande Americano. I love Chad Gable. Phenomenal in the ring. Awesome. And yes, there is the side Pentas in it, and so him and Penta, they've had their stuff. Mm-hmm. But you have Punk and AJ Styles in this fucking match, man. And they both come out of it like they did AJ dirty.
Oh yeah.
Punk makes sense. Yeah. You have the whole interference, you have Sammy come out, that whole thing, everything gets involved, Jay's out there, that whole thing, it's been the running theme, right? But they did AJ Styles so fucking dirty. AJ deserves to be in this fucking match. He should be in this match. Probably should have been in the match at the expense of Solo Sikoa, who has no business in this match. Yeah. And so I was just like, oh my God. So I was like, I get it, like from certain angles of like Punk not winning and stuff, and also pushing El Grande Americano because he's awesome. Yeah. And I love what they're doing with him, but I was just like, fuck, man. I feel like AJ Styles has not had he has been pushed, obviously. He held the title and all that, but I just don't feel like any of it was all that good, and he hasn't done jack shit since he turned face. Mm-hmm. Like, they haven't put him into anything real beneficial or adequate to who he is since he became a face, and he's a great face. The fan base fucking loves him. He's the same idea as like Randy Orton or any of them that they're just veterans that have been doing this for so long, and they're so good at what they do still in the ring that the fan base is going to cheer for them regardless of whether they're face or heel. And he just hasn't been put in good position. So that was that. I'm not mad about the fact that El Grande Americano's in the match. Yeah. But in that scenario, it was just like, fuck.
I think yes, they've done AJ dirty, but they also did. That's a dream match, Punk and Styles, and they did a little face off, but I don't know if they've faced off in the past before, but this was the first time in WWE they're in the ring together, and that's just a dream match all over it.
It is,
and it was taken away from being a triple threat. And then neither of them won. And like you said, I agree with the Punk. I wanted him in the match, but it also makes sense that he was going to get screwed over.
Yeah.
The El Grande Americano being in it is going to be good for highlights in the match. But AJ Styles is good.
A highlight reel.
He's does he want to do those highlights.
That's true
at his
too.
age right now.
He might have been the one that was like, "I'm good, I'm good. Let Chad do it."
The good news is that he's got IC title in aspirations going on as well during this time. So I guess that's the good thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got for Raw.
Going over to SmackDown, got to talk about that opening. Seth Rollins and his Vision of Power group.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to call it, but I just keep on calling him the Vision of Power or something. Yeah. I think it's going to stick, but this fucking group is just incredible. The ovation he got on SmackDown. The SmackDown crowd was just on fire in general.
They were awesome.
But I just love this group because it's refreshing. They're a full-on heel group, but they say they're doing it for us. We're grabbing this power. We're going to lead this industry in the right way, and it's for us. But they're doing it all in the heel way. And I just love how they started decimating the good guys' side of the Money in the Bank playing field throughout the night. I thought it was a nice touch. It's showing how dominant this group is and just going, oof, it's going to be tough for anyone because the lackeys are going to be there, which I think will play on to what happens in that Money in the Bank later on, you know. Yeah. So I just thought that was well done. And then the face-off of one power group against the other. And now I know Solo's group is not as powerful as it used to be, but you got Jacob in that group. And you got JC, and he's a big, tough guy. And then
I feel like you could look at this in two different ways. You had one 100% for sure dream match.
Oh, yeah.
Right here that we definitely got the second teaser
one
for is Jacob Fatu versus Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like drooling almost at this, just the idea of it even being potentially a thing. And then you also have another one that some people might argue could be a dream match, which would be JC Mateo against Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
That would be a good match because they're both wildly athletic for big short dudes.
Yeah.
Right. And then you had Solo, but he's
so good on the mic, though.
He is good on the mic. He really
kills
is.
it.
He does. He's grown into it so fucking well. And
it was a really cool opening, and I was all for it. That brings me over to we got King and Queen of the Ring returning and culminating at Night of Champions. I like how it's going to culminate there, and they're doing Fatal 4-Ways for the first round.
Yeah, which is interesting because the Fatal 4-Way, it's 4 different Fatal 4-Way matches, but then the winners of those it's just straight to the semis and then the final. So it's only 3 rounds, which seems fast.
Yeah.
But the idea of a Fatal 4-Way is pretty dope too.
Yeah.
It would be hard to come up if you want to do a Fatal 4-Way in it. It would be hard to come up with, you would have to have fucking 8 Fatal 4-Way matches to then make it a quarterfinal and then a semi and then a final. So whatever. I mean, I'm stoked for it, the idea of it. I'm happy that it's not its own PLE like we were talking about last week, and that it's culminating at Night of Champions because that makes sense, all right? It culminates at Night of Champions, then you find out who is winning that and gets to face, after the Night of Champions matches, gets to face whoever those champions are at SummerSlam. So it's cool. I like that they're giving it the stipulation of you get a title shot.
They're bringing it back from the old days. I like that.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I like that a lot.
Any early predictions on who the King and Queen will be?
Oh, man. No, I don't know. I mean, Jade probably is... I feel like they're going to push Jade for the women. They interviewed her first about it.
That's a good call.
I feel like Jade's probably going to be the one that they push for it. I don't feel like it's going to be Stephanie, Roxanne, or Julia because that would be very quick for them to come up to then be called Queen of the Ring. And they kind of did
that with Lyra last year.
Yeah, they pushed her to the finals. And they might do that with one of them to the finals, right? Yeah. But I feel like they're going to give it to somebody who's been here a year at least, on the main roster. So, or close to a year. I don't remember exactly when Jade debuted, but it's been at least close to a year, or will at that point, I guess. Yeah. And for the men's side, fuck, dude, I don't know. I feel like this could very well tonight might help dictate that, right? Like,
yeah,
because they're probably not going to have whoever wins Money in the Bank win King of the Ring.
I just got this funny feeling it's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Cody's going to win King of the Ring.
That's my early prediction, and I'm sure
he's not in Money in the Bank, and then that puts him back in the title picture for SummerSlam, which has kind of been the prediction, is that he'll end up winning, re-getting the championship at SummerSlam. So that's definitely a.
That's my early one, and I'm sure it's going to change. But for now, it's Cody Rhodes. And then for the women's side of things, I'm going to go with... I'm going to agree with you, Jade. I'm going to agree with you on that. All right. Wyatt Six had a good promo. Again, it really caught me off guard because I was watching one thing, and then it literally cut it off.
I know.
It was mid-sentence. I was like... Wait a minute.
I was like, what the fuck? My TV likes to do like a weird thing where it'll just like restart itself from time to time. And I was like, motherfucker. And then like the blue screen popped up and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, we're getting another one. Yeah. And this one was like a full blown talking one too.
Yeah. And this was very more definitive. They're going after the tag team division, going after what belongs to them, they say. And they do these promos so well. I love it. It's got an old school feel to it, VHS tape feel to it, and then the like cuts to all the different faces of the group, masking it. But
the cuts of the split face with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah,
right. Like that was that. I was like, oh, this is so fucking awesome.
But even Bo Dallas is like. His hair's grown out. He looks so much.
I know.
Like
that's why, now. Like then when they were doing those splits, I was just like, "Fuck, this is so cool!" And what a cool thing for him to be able to fucking do, dude. That's
honestly. So awesome. But like I said, they're going after the tag team division, and then quickly right afterwards, you get SmackDown's most of tag division all in one room, and
the four have been involved in this.
Now they're plotting together.
Yeah,
like
kind of.
They weren't at each other's throats, but putting tag gold aside and deciding who's going to go after Wyatt Six. I like it because it's showing Wyatt Six as a big threat to them.
Yeah,
like we've talked about. There's 2 tag team variations at least from it, or depending on what they do, and so it makes for comedy gold from their side of things, like especially with DIY kind of stirring the pot and being the last ones left out when they'll probably be the first ones that have to face them.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, I like what they're doing with the Wyatt Six so far, and at least seems like it has a direction.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think they're back to kind of hitting the nail on the head with this group so far, and hopefully, like we said last week, they just keep doing right by them and giving them good creative and storylines to work with and everything, because so far it's good. It's great to have them back.
It's good. And then lastly, we just got to talk about the closing of SmackDown. There was a lot going on. There was Seth's promo, again, wanting the power, but it was, Paul talking up. And just when he's on the mic, it's so good. But then Cody quickly interrupts, and then Jey Uso comes out, and then you get really what the whole closing segment was. And it was John Cena, Logan Paul taking out Jey and Cody. And this felt the most heelish John Cena's been. Like it just felt like a heel move, not the annoying John Cena. This was like probably the second or third best heel move he's done since going this route. And I mean, it did what it was supposed to do, and the crowd was chanting for our truth, and I like how Cena quickly turned that into
"You can't handle the truth"
into what was happening. Like it just Cena's so good at turning the crowd like at that. So I thought that was really done well. And then what better way to piss us off than Logan Paul holding up a world heavyweight title at the end of the show.
I know. And I've really felt like this was the best that this whole feud thing has been so far, and with the inclusion of Logan Paul in this now, because it just makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
So many people actually hate the fact that Logan Paul is in the WWE and in the position that he's in. Like, I've seen so many social media things, like him just being like, you guys all say like, oh, I'm just handed this, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I'm fucking pulling this amount of this viewership in and the amount of money that I pull in for this company now, like, come talk to me when you're doing that type of thing, right? And it's like, he has a fucking point. Yeah. Because, yeah, he is a fucking YouTuber turned professional wrestler, like, celebrity turned professional wrestler, but he's the best, hands down, to ever do it.
Yeah.
And he is also, like, he might be the definition for longtime wrestling fans of ruining wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
And so Cena's whole fucking shtick and then partnering up with Logan Paul, it just fucking makes so much sense, and they're just leaning into the whole thing, and it's so fucking good. It just makes so much sense. And I was just sitting there, I was like, God damn, they've done this so well.
Yeah.
And so
and Logan Paul pulls not wrestling fans into wrestling.
For sure.
Like 100%. And
Yeah,
that's what he's being used for. Absolutely. And then he's great in the ring.
Great in the ring. So,
like you can't.
And it's to the point where it's like, even as like diehard wrestling fans, you can't knock the dude's in ring ability.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was that
really fucking good. So
God, absolutely.
But yeah. Anyways, that brings us to the
Banger of the week. Brian, what do you got?
I'm going with, granted, I do have a qualm with this because it always seems to be these things where it's these fucking awesome matches.
Every single time.
End in fucking DQ.
I already know what you're going to say.
But I'm going LA Knight, Aleister Black, because that fucking match was so good. And it was one of those where it's like, it's so good, but it's like, you had no business being that good of a fucking match.
Yeah, there was nothing at stake other than their little beef.
And it was just like, holy shit, man, this match was fucking toasted.
I want to say that, like, I love LA Knight, but this was one of his best matches ever.
Yeah, it was, for sure.
And Aleister Black is just so quick, but so on the point.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't miss, and it's...
Yeah, it's crazy. And for it to be... to my knowledge, at least, it's the first time. I'm not even gonna say to my knowledge. It's the first time I've ever seen those two in the ring together before.
Yeah, that's the first time.
Okay,
I've seen
so I don't want to say it's the first time they ever did it. It's the first time I've ever seen them.
Yeah,
and so for it to be that and be like, fuck yes, this is gonna be awesome, and then you're watching, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome, and the chemistry that they just naturally seem to have together in the ring was so fucking awesome, dude. I was so stoked. And then to have it be fucking Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and just stomps LA Knight, I was just like, motherfucker, dude. Yeah. That was so annoying to me. Like, this was one of the ones that annoyed me the most with it ending in DQ, because it was just like, yeah, I guess you're pushing the Seth's attacking everybody in the match type thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, didn't attack El Grande Americano.
Because he's not going to attack the heels.
Didn't attack Solo.
Yeah.
Right? You're just taking out the other three people. But anyways, it was the match itself, banger of the week, hands down. I think it was the best match of the week.
Oh, I agree with that, for sure.
That's what I went with.
My banger of the week is Jacob Fatu's aura. Just the moment he stepped up to Braun Breaker, instant goosebumps again. It was just, took me back to that Raw where they faced off. The crowd is into it. Dude. He's got main event written all over him, and it's just...
That match, like, we need that, because they legitimately have the star power to turn this into, like, the new age Cena Orton type feud, where they could feud for the next 20 fucking years
and
just put on clinics every fucking time. Yeah, dude.
It was just another jaw drop. It was so good. It was just the second he stepped up, I was just like, oh yes.
Yeah.
It was
well, and then not to mention that they no longer are planting the seeds. They're beginning the harvest now of the Jacob Fatu face turn on Solo with that backstage where
overhearing
Solo is straight up talking shit about Jacob Fatu, and all gas, no brains, and then he does the because he is very good.
Yep.
And then Jacob Fatu turns the corner, and it was just like, okay, it's happening. Fuck yes, let's go. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacob Fatu cost Solo.
That's tonight. What I'm thinking.
So, anyways. Timmy, this brings us over to something we haven't done quite a few episodes on this show, and that is a belts game for Timothy.
Okay.
All right. This game is called Name That WrestleMania. I got to pull up my other notes app because it was easier for me to type into. So, the way this is going to work, I'm going to give you 10 clues. Okay? Mm-hmm. And you're going to try to guess what the WrestleMania is after each clue.
Okay.
Right. And if I say one and you're just like, what? And then you can just be like, next clue. Okay. Right. Like, you don't have to necessarily guess after each one if you're just like, I have no fucking idea. Okay. But it's Name That WrestleMania. And don't just go through, because there are only 41 WrestleManias. Don't just start naming off every fucking, you know what I mean?
1,
like, yeah.
2, 3.
God damn it.
4, 5, 6. No. Okay.
But the clues themselves have to do with the matches on the match card in order. I will tell you that the last 2 matches that were on that card each have 2 clues.
Okay.
But the first, what would that be? The first 6 clues are each and I made these up. Okay. All right, so these clues are my creations based off what I was looking at.
Okay.
The first clue.
1. I'm just kidding.
Taggle Royal.
Taggle Royal?
Taggle Royal.
Taggle Royal.
Most of these clues are like plays off of something that had to do with the match. Taggle Royal.
Okay. Next clue.
I forgot this one for a second. I was like, wait, what am I saying? No clue. LHC.
LHC.
Not the WHC. The LHC. No clue. And that's not 2 words. It's 1 word. No clue.
No clue?
No clue. You know that one too, so you're going to be pissed.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, next clue.
Quadruple H.
WrestleMania 2000. WrestleMania 16.
No.
Okay.
No. I forgot to write the WrestleMania number down, but it's not 16. I just realized I didn't write it down. Hold on, real quick. Just make sure I'm not fucking this up. Yeah, okay. Nope, I'm right. Okay. Made me feel better about myself there. I was like, oh, crap, I forgot to write which WrestleMania it was down, but I knew it. All right. Next up. Mixed bag.
These clues are giving me shit.
They're actually giving you quite a lot.
I know, I'm sure it is.
They are actually giving you quite a bit. So,
mixed bag.
For that clue, think of the same kind of play on words that I used with Taggle Royal. And then this is mixed bag.
Yeah.
So there is a wrestling match stipulation embedded in that, right?
Yeah.
That I'm sure you can think of. But then the term mixed bag also means...
Is this WrestleMania 27?
No.
Fuck.
Next clue. Pebble, Icy, Clover.
Ooh. WrestleMania 24.
No. Next clue.
Oh, wait.
Dumpster.
Yeah.
There's no hidden clue in that. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
There's no innuendos or anything hidden. That's just what the clue is. Dumpster.
So far, this is... Okay, keep going. How many clues left?
You have 4 clues left, so now we're getting into the next 2 are for 1 match.
Okay.
And then the final 2 are for one match. And I'm going to give you both those clues at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so
let's go.
For the next match, this is clue 7 and 8. The first clue 7, is Tomb Rose Pile Driver. And the second, number 8, is First Ever Kickout.
WrestleMania 15.
No. Last 2 clues. Clue number 9, Guest. Clue number 10, Face Turn.
WrestleMania 13.
No.
Fuck. What is it?
WrestleMania 14. You said 16, 15, and 13. WrestleMania 14. So, Tag Royal. It started with a tag team battle royal.
Okay.
Then the No Clue LHC was Takemichi Noku.
Yeah.
Won he had a match and he won the light heavyweight championship. Quadruple H was Triple H versus Owen Hart.
Okay.
Mixed Bag was a mixed tag match.
God, I was thinking Clue. I was thinking Snooki.
I wrote Mixed Bag because it was.
Oh, that wasn't even a mixed match. Fuck.
I wrote a Mixed Bag because it was this kind of like it was Mark Miro and Sable versus Gold Dust and
Marlena.
Huh?
Isn't it Marlena? No.
It was like La Vechan or something like that.
Luna. No.
It was something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Pebble IC Clover was The Rock versus Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental Championship. Dumpster was New Age Outlaws versus Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. Dumpster match. And then the Tomb Rose Pile Driver was Kane versus Taker, but it was tombstoning Pete Rose at the beginning of the match.
That's where I mixed it. I knew it was the Kane Taker, and I that's why I said 15. Fuck.
The first ever kick out was because Kane was the first person to ever kick out of the Undertaker's tombstone.
Okay.
And then number 9 was guest, and number 10 was face turn. It was Mike Tyson's face turn as
I didn't
guest
even
referee.
listen to the guest part.
Guest referee for the Stone Cold Shawn Michaels match.
Yep.
Oh my God, the fact that you said 16 earlier and then you said 15 and I was like, oh, you're getting closer. And then for the last 13. One you said 13. I was like, oh no.
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That was fun, though.
The face turn, I just was thinking Stone Cold. But different scenario.
Yeah. Stone Cold was involved.
Yeah.
It's just a different person
turned face. One. Fuck me.
Alrighty.
Belts question of the week. Last week, you brought up a favorite moment, Money in the Bank. We got Money in the Bank tonight. What has been your favorite Money in the Bank cash-in?
Man, I was really going back and forth between two here. And I went one of them was for, I think, just the stories involved, the kind of the hype behind it, the aura of the three individuals that were involved in this, and just kind of the precedent that this set for a match. That ended up being, the precedent that set for Money in the Bank cash-ins.
Mm-hmm.
It was when it happened, it was the first to ever do this specific thing for a Money in the Bank cash-in. This was my runner-up. The one I went with was Dolph Ziggler's cash-in on Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
Purely because of I think it is to this day the biggest pop for a cash-in
I think
ever.
So, yeah.
And the fact that this was truly one of those moments where it still might be the only one that we've really gotten, at least on the men's side of things, where it pushed someone who was not really considered main event status or main
not
title
in their eyes.
picture.
In our eyes.
Yeah, not
Yes. Agreed.
Into that moment. And so I went with Dolph Ziggler just because I was like, that was huge.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool fucking thing. And it's still like when you watch that back, just the goosebumps you still get from that. Him running down the fight, his music hit, he's running down the thing, and you're like, oh, he's fucking doing it. And then when he did it, and we're like, ah, it was fucking awesome.
I just saw an interview with him, and he said that pop of the crowd rivals what was happening in the Attitude Era for when Stone Cold would come out and all those. And I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
My runner-up, I'm going to wait just in case it's yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I do want to just point out what it was.
Okay. Well, I couldn't choose one. I got two tied at the top.
Okay.
But for, I guess, different reasons. And one is Ziggler's.
Okay.
Just because that cash-in was insane. And it was just...
It really was.
He deserved it. And it was just the culmination of all his hard work. It was an awesome moment to see. And then my my main one that I listed was RVD.
Oh, One Night Stand.
At One Night Stand.
Okay.
He called the night. It wasn't like a surprise. It was John Cena, RVD. RVD finally wins the title. I know it didn't play out well after the fact, but that whole night in general was amazing. And then that match was incredible, and just the whole crowd feeding into it. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so it wasn't either of those.
All right.
So my two, I had them tied originally, like I said.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll just do one because I've done a lot of multi-answered things. But you did it. So I am going to say this. And it was Seth Rollins cash-in.
At WrestleMania.
Yeah. It was the first time a cash-in had happened during, like a surprise cash-in happened while the title was being defended in a match. So it just set that precedent for that being able to happen during a match, right? And essentially turned it into a triple threat match. But he did it at the point in the match where they were both already so fucking beat down that it ended up like he did it and was an easy cash in, right? So it was a during match version of Edge cashing in on Cena post that brutal match, where Cena was so fucked up he like really couldn't defend himself. You know.
That's a good one. I mean,
so yeah,
that's always up there, and it was just. I think that match needed it too, because I don't think either wanted Brock or Roman to win either. So.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, man,
I like it. That brings us over to
Blockbusters.
Bang bang.
Black Betty, bam lamb, whoa, Black Betty, bam lamb, Black Betty had a child, bam lamb, the damn thing gone wild, bam lamb. Anyways, I don't know what happened. I just blacked out for a second.
We got some movies, Ryan.
We do. We got this movie called The Home. Tim, I hadn't heard anything about this in any way, shape, or form. I just happened to be scrolling through one of my sites, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "It's Pete Davidson." I was like, the horror thriller? I was like, "Oh shit, cool."
Yeah.
We'd just
Bodies.
Yep, you had me watch Bodies. He was in that, and so I was all right, whatever. I'll check this one out. And then I was watching the trailer. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, yeah, I'm putting this bitch on here. This is something I feel like is right up your alley. Yeah. And so, synopsis for this is, in this horror thriller from the creator of The Purge, a rebellious 20-something is sentenced to community service at a quiet retirement home. The residence on the 4th floor is strictly off limits, said to require special care. As his suspicions grow and he digs deeper, he uncovers a chilling secret that puts both the residents' lives and his own in grave danger. Again, the cast of this is primarily Pete Davidson's like the main name, and then you have John Glover and Bruce Altman. I don't know who either of those two are off the top of my head, so
gotta say one of them's gotta be that older white guy.
Yeah. But anyways, its release date is July 25th of this year, and it will be out in theaters.
Actually, John Glover, that's the guy from Smallville. He played Lex's dad, Lex Luthor's dad, Lionel Luthor.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I caught him in that trailer, so I'll have to watch that back now that I've know his name. I gotta say, fucking old people are creepy as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
This trailer is trippy. It gives me...
You old bitches out there. You're a bunch of creepy fuckers. Just kidding. We love you.
It gives me sort of Get Out vibes. From what I could see from little parts of it.
Get Out vibes, but definitely Purge undertones.
Oh, yes.
Like, you can definitely tell this is from the creator of The Purge.
Yes.
Right? There's definitely those undertones there as well. I mean, this was... God, we've covered so many horror movies. We've covered horror movies far more than we've covered anything else on this show in the Blockbusters section. And this is one of, not the, but it's up there with some of the most where I'm like, I am creeped out and uncomfortable watching the trailer for this. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then just anything to deal with eyeballs is just gets me on the edge of the seat. And that scene in the trailer just, whoof.
Oh my God. And and it totally, like, you know, there's certain times where you're like, oh, he's going to get out of that type of thing when you're watching something in a trailer. And I'm like, I don't know that he is. So this is really, I'm very uncomfortable. Yes. Yeah. But goddamn. Yeah. I was like, I had to throw that on there. That was a.
Yeah. Big, bold, beautiful journey. Synopsis: what if you could open a doorway and walk through it to relive a defining moment from your past? Sarah and David are single strangers who meet at a mutual friend wedding and soon, through a surprising twist of fate, find themselves on a big, bold, beautiful journey. A funny, fantastical, sweeping adventure together where they get to relive important moments from their respective past, illuminating how they got to where they are in the present, and possibly getting a chance to alter their futures. The main cast is Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell. Release date is September 19th, 2025, and the platform is in theaters. I gotta say, this trailer is incredible. It has such I watched it 5 times. Like, it has that rewatchability, and it just kind of gets you right in the feels. You can tell it's going to have every emotion possible. You're going to have laughs, cries, and feel-good moments, and just it has all that, but just visually stunning. Yeah. It looks so good.
Yeah, it looks wild.
And it feels original, and I feel like this year has brought a lot of original movies.
Yeah, I agree.
We've been saying that more often, and this does. It maybe a little like a movie called About Time, but this feels different than that. And Margot Robbie and Colin Farrell, I'm here for them. And
same.
So really excited for this one.
Same. I was looking at this one as well, and I think just the concept of this is super interesting and unique, because we've seen a lot of, we've seen a lot of different movies and shows where there is that arc in it where you have the potential to go back and rewrite the future type of thing. But this is such a different way of looking at it and a different way to go about it. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome. And those are both fucking just absolute stunners of actors in this movie. So,
and I just love the, I'm going to kill you when they were asking the age, and she's like, you're 40. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to kill you. Yeah. That made me laugh. All right.
Next up,
Frankenstein by Oscar-winning director Guillermo del Toro adapts Mary Shelley's classic tale of Victor Frankenstein, a brilliant but egotistical scientist who brings a creature to life in a monstrous experiment that ultimately leads to the undoing of both the creator and his tragic creation. Cast is Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, Mia Goth, Felix Kammerer, with Charles Dance and Christoph Waltz. Release date is in November, no specific date, and the platform is on Netflix.
It's so funny that these two are the things that you put on, because it was literally, I was like between these 3 movies as to what I was going to put on for my movie, because I put a series on also.
Yep.
And I did that first. And so I was like, it was between these 3. And this one, it ultimately came down between this and The Home.
The Home.
And I was like, Frankenstein. I was like, this is fucking crazy. But The Home is just so different and new and unique to me that I was like, I'm doing that one. But this was right there.
Yeah.
The trailer for this is also stunning, visually stunning, because it's also very old school feel, right? Because it's that era of when this happened, right? The classic tale of Victor Frankenstein, right? And so, I'm stoked about this. There's also some, from what I remember and what I had reading the books and watching all the older takes on this, there was definitely some different new stuff wrapped up into this trailer as well that definitely intrigued me. So I'm excited for that one as well.
I gotta say, I'm excited that it's on Netflix, but I feel like this one deserves a theater release.
I do agree
with how stunning this trailer was. You can pause it at any moment and just catch all the beauty in every shot it gave in that trailer. And Guillermo del Toro deserves that, but Netflix is giving him a platform to do his movie, so I can't be too mad. Love Oscar Isaac in this. He's fits this role perfectly, I think.
He does.
Our Moon Knight, right?
Moon Knight.
Yeah, I like that, and just I'm really excited for it. Just I'm a big fan of the monster movies, obviously, and so excited for that.
Brings us over to series. I threw this one on here. It's the only one we got on here this week, and I have talked about this slightly before in like the follow up in the Fred section before. So I actually got the trailer for it, and it's Dexter Resurrection, which I am so excited about. The synopsis is, the new series is a continuation of Dexter New Blood, which takes place weeks after Dexter Morgan takes a bullet to the chest from his own son as he awakens from a coma to find Harrison gone without a trace. Realizing the weight of what he put his son through, Dexter sets out for New York City, determined to find him and make things right, but closure won't come easy. I lost where I was at. When Miami Metro's Angel Batista arrives with questions, Dexter realizes his past is catching up to him fast. As father and son navigate their own darkness in the city that never sleeps, they soon find themselves deeper than they ever imagined, and that the only way out is together. The cast of this is Michael C. Hall returning once again as Dexter. David Zayas is Angel Batista. James Remar is Dexter's father, who is his like internal monologue. Mm-hmm. Jack Alcott is Harrison, and then John Lithgow is, I'm very intrigued in this because I'm wondering how they're going about this, but John Lithgow is returning as the Trinity Killer, our new Dumbledore. But yeah, so I'm interested to see that because in the original run, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this that came out almost 20 years ago, the original run of the show, the Trinity Killer dies, and that was John Lithgow. So I'm very interested to see how he's returning. But it will be start coming out on July 11th of this year, and it will be out, unfortunately, Paramount Plus with Showtime. So it's not just Paramount Plus. You have to have the Showtime addition to it. So I might be signing up for that for a free trial or something if I'm able to watch this show once it's fully out.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm excited for this. The trailer got me hyped.
Well, don't hate me, but I have not finished the original run, and
that's fine.
I'm on the season with
7 or 8 seasons. So.
I'm on the season with the Trinity Killer. So spoiler alert, spoiled me, but I figured like it was well known when I started watching the show that was that was one of the things already spoiled. So it wasn't a new spoiler. Okay. But really excited for this. I don't know why I never finished it. I think it was just didn't have the channel anymore and didn't know how to watch it at the time, and just haven't gone back to finish it. But love the trailer for this. Love the Back in the New York Groove song playing throughout it. And then Peter Dinklage, he's part of the cast. He's not on that list.
Oh, shit.
But really excited to see him in there, and I like the premise of what his character is doing in the show. So,
for sure.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That brings us to Fred. Follow-up, rumors, and early development.
Let's go. I threw this on here. Got just a small but also kind of big casting update for Meet the Parents 4. We talked about this a little while ago, just that it had been, greenlit and it's in pre-production or whatever, with the original cast all expected to return as well. But Ariana Grande has apparently been cast in this, so I'm once again very excited to see what that's going to be about. Love these movies. I really enjoy Ariana Grande on the screen, so I'm excited for this.
Follow-up trailer. So this last week dropped a shit ton of trailers.
There were a couple of these I didn't even realize dropped. Like, I didn't realize they dropped a new Fantastic Four trailer until I was looking at this, and I was like, what the fuck? And I never saw the Knives Out one or the Wicked for Good trailer. So I saw the others, but yeah, lots of trailers were released this previous week, and I put all the links in for you to watch those. Oh yeah. So of this list, what are you most excited for? So on this list, there's Black Phone 2, Freakier Friday, Happy Gilmore 2, Alien Earth, Wicked for Good, Fantastic Four, Life of Chuck, and Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. Which one are you most excited for after the new trailers?
This is a hard list.
It's a very hard list because I mean it's like Happy Gilmore 2. That's the only one on here that we've been waiting almost 30 years for.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm stoked for that. That's obvious. Freakier Friday looks absolutely fantastic.
It looks hilarious.
It looks so good. And I think it's going to be so exciting to see both Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis in their now much more grown up, both of them. I mean, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis was an adult when this happened, but Lindsay Lohan was still,
very young,
late teens, early 20s, maybe, playing that high school character, if that old, right? So now to see her probably a little bit closer, at least, to the age Jamie Lee Curtis would have been when she played, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now to see Jamie Lee Curtis as that grandma type character, like, this is so good. And it gives me a little bit of like a Jumanji vibes, where it's like Danny DeVito and Danny Glover's people, like characters are inside the other people as well. So it's just that type of idea. I'm excited for that. I still haven't seen the first Black Phone. This shit looked creepy as fuck. And so I need to watch the first Black Phone so I even understand what the fuck's going on in this one. But this looked fucking creepy as all hell. So that's all. I'm always here for that. I think the one that I am the most excited for, though, and this might surprise you, because it's not Fantastic Four.
It's not mine either.
Okay. I think Fantastic Four is my second.
Yeah.
Because of just what it is. But I feel like I'm like kind of past the hype of it now, and I'm just like, let's fucking get here July so we can watch this shit.
Yeah.
The one I'm most excited about is Alien Earth.
That trailer
is
sold the show.
Fucking insane.
Like the teasers for it have been great.
This looks absolutely visually stunning. The concept of the whole thing is insane, and they're already within the trailer for this. They're teasing the crossover.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm sure you heard the clicking.
Yeah.
The Predator clicks.
Yeah.
Was happening. The fact that they said that this ship, collected five of the most dangerous, or whatever it said, five of the most dangerous predators or whatever from across the universe or whatever it was, and you're just like, okay. And they've all, like, Noah Hawley, and then is it Fede Alvarez, whoever just directed Romulus?
Oh yeah, Alvarez.
They've all kind of like gone on and said that like they want to do that type of crossover. And then who it was that did, I think, Prey, the director of that. Like they've all talked about the potential for that type of thing. And oh my God, man, if we can get that type of shit now with now's technology 20 years later after AVP and AVPR, whoo, and I love those movies. So this show looks absolutely terrifying though.
Yeah.
Like jaw-droppingly horrifying. I'm fucking so excited for this.
I know it can't come soon enough.
I know.
It's July release, right? I want to say, or is it June? August, damn it.
I want to say it's like August 11th or something. Okay. But again, we've watched a lot of trailers. I might be getting release dates confused. So which one's yours?
This was a very tough question.
It's very tough
because I have some, like, I think of these, maybe Knives Out's my least one, but I'm still excited for it. But and it wouldn't have been it until I saw the trailer. Black Phone 2 is the one.
Oh yeah.
I was curious because I know I listed the early synopsis for it earlier on this year, and I was just like, okay, so how is it going to play into this? And holy hell, the snowy, foggy atmosphere it got going on is just creepy as shit.
Yes.
But then you add in like the supernatural part of this. It looks like Nightmare on Elm Street meets Sinister in this movie, and it is incredible.
Nightmare on Elm Street meets Sinister meets A Nightmare Before Christmas.
it just
yes, jokes funny, but also it kind of does.
Yeah.
You what I mean? And just like, what the fuck?
Ethan Hawke is a creepy ass dude, and the grabber mask is creepy.
Yes,
and
it is.
Just the phone ringing throughout the trailer is just another trailer that gives you anxiety, and really excited for that one. So that's my top one. Life of Chuck was actually my runner-up. I'm very excited for that movie.
I'm excited too. It looks like it's going to be great.
It just, And
then Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. We didn't, like, neither of us spoke on this yet, but fucking star-studded.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that as well. But what a fucking list, dude.
All of the Knives Out movies are very star-studded.
Yeah, they're all very star-studded.
Sure. So, but yeah, agreed. Yeah. But hell of a lineup. A lot of things to be excited for here. Blockbuzzin is our special segment of the week, and I chose this movie. You
did.
And it's our first time watching anime. Like, I know you've watched animated movies with your daughter and everything.
Never.
For binge capping, but this is the first time we've selected an animated movie. So the movie is Wild Robot. Why it generated buzz is because it was nominated for a handful of awards. It won Critics' Choice Awards, Best Animated Film. It was one of the top 10 highest grossing animated films ever. It's got a lot of hype to it. And I thought it lived up to the hype. The movie was well done. I can see why the Rotten Tomatoes was like a 98, 99 score. The movie was beautiful. It had all the feels to it. It had good laughs. It had a good story to it, and it was incredible. I got choked up a few times during it, and it was a really good watch and highly recommend it for anyone. What'd you think?
Same, absolutely. I did watch this at least partially with Lainey. She's only 19 months old. Attention span's not quite there yet, but it was. I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I thought it was great. I didn't look up any of like the voice actors or anything either because I just wanted to be invested in it and not just hear the people. But then seeing their names pop up on the screen, I was like, oh shit, like Catherine Hahn. I was like, oh fuck, that makes sense. But I like didn't see that at first. Or Bill Nighy,
Catherine O'Hara.
That's what I meant to say. Catherine O'Hara, not Catherine Hahn. Sorry.
I was like,
got my Catherines mixed up there. No, Catherine O'Hara is who I meant to say. But yeah, and so the concept of it, everything, I just thought it was great, and I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend the watch.
Yeah, and I had zero collection of what it was all or anything. I didn't watch a trailer or anything.
The name of it.
Yeah.
And like that's all I knew was what you texted me. And I was like, all right. And got home and I think I watched it that night or the next night.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well,
it was a fun watch. I thought it was good.
I got to watch a movie for the show and it's a cartoon. So Lainey, want to watch this? And yeah, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Be ready to cry, guys.
Got another game for you, Timmy.
Okay.
And this one, I'm gonna put a timer on it.
Okay.
All right. I'll do the timer on my watch so that it's easier. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Because we have that. And I'm continuing in the theme of our Blockbuzzin. So you have 2 minutes to try to list the top 10 grossing animated films of all time. I will tell you from the list that I have, The Wild Robot is not on it. Maybe it wasn't as updated list because I know that's new.
Yeah.
But and I will also say, preface, this list is actually number 11 through 2 of this list that I found because the number one, I will be shocked if you've even never heard of it.
Gotcha.
I had never either, and so that's the actual number one.
Oh, okay.
And I have a blurb about that because it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
But so for our 10 top 10 grossing animated films of all time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are sequels. Mm-hmm. Only one of those sequels is the original on the list as well. Okay. Just so you know, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea there. You have 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, go.
Incredibles
is not on the list.
Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2 is number 6.
Okay. Coco?
Coco's not on it.
Luca?
Nope.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 is number 8.
Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3 is number 9.
Okay. We got... Oh, shit. Why can't I think? Oh, crap. Inside Out? Is that what it's called?
Inside Out is not on it.
Inside Out 2?
Inside Out 2 is number 1.
Wow.
For this.
So I got 4. Holy crap.
Yes.
We got Toy Story 2?
Nope.
Okay. Toy Story?
Nope.
All right. We got Beauty and the Beast.
Nope.
Big Hero 6.
No.
Fuck.
You got 1 minute left. There's only one that is
Shrek.
older. No, Shrek's not on it.
Any of the Shrek.
No.
Shrek 2,
None
3,
of the
4.
Shreks. None of the Shreks.
Puss in Boots.
No. Nothing
Puss in
related
Boots
to
2.
Shrek. Go another way. Go another way.
The Lion King.
The Lion King is number 2.
Okay, we got 5. That's pretty good.
You are still missing...
Finding Nemo.
Nope.
Finding Dory.
Nope. Fuck. You are still missing the original and its sequel. This is going to be obvious to you when you think of it, when you're like, fuck.
Oh, Frozen 2.
Frozen and Frozen 2 are 5 and 3, respectively.
I got 7.
So you are missing 10, 7, and 4. And you have 10 seconds.
Oh, Little Mermaid.
Nope.
All right.
Newer.
Okay.
Okay. So that is
7.
time. Number 10 is Moana 2.
Moana. Fuck.
9's Toy Story 3. 8's Toy Story 4. 7 is Minions.
Minions.
Yeah. Number 6 was Incredibles 2. Frozen was 5. Number 4 is the only other one you didn't get, and it was the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Ah, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
So,
Peaches.
the actual number 1 on this list.
Grave of Fireflies.
No.
Okay. Kiki's Delivery.
I wrote is one you've probably never heard of. It's called Neza 2.
Yeah, nope.
Yep. Its total gross so far is $2.2 billion. It's the highest grossing film in a single box office territory. It's the highest grossing animated film ever. It's the highest grossing non-English language film and the first animated film to cross the $2 billion mark. Wow. It's the highest grossing film of 2025.
Shit.
It's this the 5th highest grossing film of all time. And it came out January 29th.
Seriously?
It came out January 29th, February, March, April, May, 4.5 months ago.
Wow.
Isn't that fucking wild?
That's fucking wild.
Isn't that fucking wild?
Well, yeah.
But anyways, I thought it was a fun one.
Probably
Stick
why.
it into the
Well, no, because you said it wasn't on that list. So, all right.
Yeah, Wild Robot wasn't on the list that I saw.
Yeah.
When I put that together. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. It wasn't on the list that I saw. So. Blockbusters question of the week. Following up, Tim, with continuing to talk about the animation. I asked, what's your favorite style of animation for films or shows? Just what's your favorite animation style in general? What do you got?
Well, I don't know a lot of style, so I had to do some research, and so I just kind of
I didn't
looked
necessarily mean like you got to give me like the actual legit name, but just like name like a movie or show that you're like, that's the animation style that I like the most. But anyways, what you get?
I looked it up, and what all the movies that I was kind of thinking of, like The Incredibles, Shrek, Toy Story, was CGI 3D animation is what it's called, and love those movies, and they do a great job with the animation in those, and I know the style doesn't really reflect what happens in those movies, but yeah, that was what I chose.
All right. I had two in mind, and one's just like for a specific point of the year from like October to Christmas, and it's stop motion.
Yeah.
I fucking love all of the old school stop motion shit, man. I just think it's so awesome and it's so nostalgic and everything. It's wonderful. But then the other one that I really liked, which is newer, but it has a very old school feel of animation to it. And I don't know what the style is called because, like I said, that wasn't, I should have been more specific. But is the like Across and Into the Spider-Verse animation style. Yeah. Right? It's like an animated comic book.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looked. That's the feel that it has. And I was like, I really enjoyed that. I thought it was super cool. So that's what I went with.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, dog.
It's episode 53.
Hell yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Timely.